it is you are watching us from around the world, I make you welcome. This is Enterprise Weekend, reaching you from Enterprise Television from the economic hub of Nigeria, Lagos. I am Henry Igwebike. And we'll kick off today as usual, interestingly, with everything we have coming from our newspapers. And right after that will be our main conversation also for today. Please do well to be part of what we do have a say in what we say. You can always reach us when you visit us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I'm so honored to have with me right here in our studios, Shodende Peters, a social commentator, public affairs analyst, to see through everything we have from our newspapers and possibly we'll crisscross straight to our main conversation. Good morning, Mr. Peters, and welcome.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you so very much for the time.
Yeah, well.
Beautiful. So let's kickstart today with the Guardian newspaper. We have interesting stories here. The big one, how global cannabis boom fuels illicit drug use in West Africa. And I'd love to believe they are referring to Nigeria particularly because with the population that we have, it's a big market and a big business. And on the top strip of the same newspaper, we have why the rise of post-delivery health complications must be tamed, most definitely. And we have on the political side of the Guardian newspaper, Road Survivor, streets renaming controversy, a smokescreen to distract from governance issues. We have other stories, NDLEA Agric Ministry partner on alternatives to cannabis farming, rehabilitation of illicit drug users. And still from the same newspaper, we have a terrorist tag. The federal government flays Canada over court's designation of political parties, particularly the APC and the PDP. According to a court ruling in Canada, they say that both parties are terrorist organizations. These are more we shall discuss today. Mr. Peters, I'd love us to start with the big story here. How global cannabis boom fuels illicit drug use in West Africa. This is what other nations have taken advantage of. Unfortunately, we are not. In Canada, it contributes to about 26% of their GDP, about $256 billion business. In the United States, is something. In Africa, Malawi, Morocco are taking advantage of this. Medicinal cannabis. But in Nigeria, we try to play sense.
Yes, for cannabis worldwide, everybody knows there's what you call controlled usage. So in those countries, they've been able to fashion a way. You see, all these plants given to us by nature, by God, are for our own. Even if you are a Christian, I am a Christian, so I can talk from the Bible.
Yeah.
He told us that all these leaves are given to us to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
So cannabis in itself, if it is not abused, is a very good plant.
Okay.
It solves quite a whole lot of problem. That is why even in our common paracetamol, sometimes you see a drop of cocaine when they manufacture, because they know if it is not abused, if it is controlled. People abuse paracetamol. People abuse ordinary cough syrup.
Yeah.
We used to drink penicillin and codeine when we were young.
Yeah,
as cough syrup.
Cough syrup. Yeah.
And suddenly, we didn't know when it became something others now have turned into an abuse. So, all those countries that you're talking about, the West, they've looked at this plant and felt that rather than say we want to totally do away with it, how can we work around it to make sure that we control the usage? You can pop into a supermarket and buy cannabis in Canada. They just give you the dose that you need at a particular point in time so that you don't abuse it. And people use it to treat quite a whole lot. I've heard people say, once I smoke weed, or I cook it with beans, I'm able to sleep very well, I will be fresh, I'll be... You see, people have their reasons for using all those things. But the problem here in Nigeria is that we've still not looked at it holistically and tried to see, okay, what others are doing to make them generate income from these things. Can we also start to look at it and begin to put it in? We don't have those systems that
Are
can
you sure
put things
it is
in
the
check.
system, or because you talked about religion, because that contributes to a large extent to some of these things? As a Christian,
Yes.
we are admonished to stay away from all of that, to stay away from alcohol, to stay away from these two. So if someone who is a renowned Christian is at the top of the food chain to make the decision, don't you think that his faith would contribute to...
You see, I don't want to look more at the religious angle, because even from the Christian point of view,
Yes.
it also differs from denomination to another.
Yes.
Some denominations doesn't see anything wrong in alcohol.
Yeah.
Some don't see anything wrong in weed. We have some denominations, some religions, like Islam now, frowns totally at alcohol.
Yeah.
If you do it in the north, it's almost a death sentence. We know what happens. But maybe because you see quite a whole lot of drug abuse in the north, maybe they are indifferent about that.
Okay.
So what we are saying is, whether you are a Christian, Muslim, Hindu, or whatever you are, as long as you take all these drugs,
Yes.
you find out that some elements of these plants that you say your religion abhors are inside it. You will still find, as long as you take paracetamol, you find some element of cocaine there. You find, so once you use hair cream, hair whatever, you see a whole lot of
the cannabis
that they used to make it. So there's no way you can run
you
away
can't
from
avoid it.
The main thing is a controlled usage.
All right.
Some states in Nigeria wanted to also invest in it.
Yeah.
Working together with NAFDAC, sorry, is it NAFDAC or NDLA?
NAFDAC, NDLA.
NAFDAC and NDLA to make sure that this thing, don't let us totally throw it away.
Well,
if in my state I can do this thing, and even if not for anything, for export, allow me grow it. So you see it in the news. Some state governments are trying to work with NAFDAC. Let's do a controlled planting and harvesting of this thing. Even if it was the export market, at least we can make some money from it. Fine. I feel that all we need in Nigeria is just to sit down, just like I've said, look at it very well, like other countries have also looked at it and felt, rather than throw away this, because whether you like it or not, if you don't put a legal means for people to access it, illegally they will access it
and do it better.
And by that time, you are still unable to control and unable to know what they do with it. So the best of the best is to try as much as possible, face it, learn from the West. How do you do these things? And make sure, just like cigarettes, controlled usage.
Yes.
You go to the United Kingdom, you go to the US, you see children of school, even in their uniforms, they put their, but it's controlled. So I feel very well that we can look at it and at the same time walk around it. I am more particular about income generation. We are losing a whole lot from all these restrictions on all these plants. Even if you could, prisoners, we could have farms for them, plant this thing, let them harvest it. They are controlled. They have officers around them. Once they are done, wire them abroad, make some money for, so the prisons is also generating money
for themselves,
for the country. So as far as I'm concerned, I think it's a good business
that should be controlled.
Yes, a business angle that the country should look at.
Very, very true. Because of apart from that, we see notable Nigerian celebrities, artists like Ashake. That is the business he does in the United States. He has a large pool of products on cannabis. Burna Boy, the same thing. He has a business that deals with cannabis and all, and they're making so much money from them. And then one would wonder why it is not the same in Nigeria. But let's take a look at another matter. This time to Lagos State. Rhodes Viver, the former Labour Party governorship aspirant, who said renaming controversy is most green to distract from good governance. So what's your take on this?
You know, it's the political season. Any action by a political party or a government, the next political party will react to it. So the Lagos State government, I think some local governments within have thought it wise within themselves that we have some founding fathers that we need to honor. So under that guise, they felt that, okay, let's do some street naming, some changes. If you heard Fashola was saying that we really not need to lose culture.
Yeah, because they're distorting
lose culture,
the history of Lagos.
Lose, but you know, whether we like it or not, you see some elements of politics inside too.
But can we forget about the messenger and look at the message?
No, the message is political. Is basically political, because a street naming now doesn't take away anything from governance. Hold on, let me explain to you. Governance, the major job of government is the welfare and security of people. The local government is supposed to give welfare to the people within.
Yeah.
So if my local government chairman wakes up today and say, okay, I want to change my name from Enterprise Street to TV Street, maybe it is less of my worry. What I should look after is the school in my area. Is it well funded? Hope your street naming is not affecting it. The primary health center in my area, is it well stocked? Can a pregnant woman go there? Can I have malaria and visit there? The local security, neighborhood watch, are they well equipped? Can I get them anytime I need them? All those things local government do are what I should focus on.
But are they what they are in Lagos?
So, whether Lagos, whether anywhere,
yeah,
all governments will tell you that, yes, I'm doing my best. If you tell, last month, you see all of them rolling out new buildings when they wanted to hand over. See the roads I've done, see the primary school, see everything. They will tell you they are doing. For Vivo, I understand where it's coming from, that you guys, you are losing focus from governance.
Which is fine.
And you are doing street naming.
Yes.
As far as I'm concerned, street naming is minute in all these things. We have passed that episode now. The streets are bus stops, everything have been renamed, and we are focusing. I feel very well that Vivo just wants to milk that particular event, because you know a whole lot of people were against it. How could you change from Charlie Boy to Olamide Badu? All those type of things. We know politics is also involved.
Yes.
So he felt that, okay, this is the right time to climb on this story and make it look as if nothing is being done. As far as I'm concerned, it's a political statement.
But me and you, if we take a look at Lagos, right? Let's be very realistic. We both live in Lagos. We walk around Lagos. We go through everything. We see how things work. When you look at Lagos in 2025, are you pleased with what you see when you compare it to other cities that were at same par in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s? Are you proud of Lagos with respect to infrastructure, with respect to public service?
Okay, I will look at Lagos as a country. You see, if you compare Lagos to cities that started together,
yes,
maybe we look at cities in countries like Malaysia,
okay,
maybe in countries like Singapore. Those are, I think, economies that we took independence almost the same time.
Yeah.
You see, you cannot compare. Because if you look at the journey of Nigeria, because you can't isolate Lagos from Nigeria, Nigeria has been plagued by a whole lot of instability when it comes to governance. From democracy in 1999 to 1960 to 66, the military took over and the country never remained the same. In fact, at a point in time, we are having military coups almost every 6 months during Muritala, then another 2 years during Babangida, Buhari. So we were having it like that. So you see a whole lot of anybody just, military by their nature, they are not trained to come and rule you. They are trained for security. So whatever they do with your economy, to them, is the best.
Yes.
You cannot. Now, we've had democracy take over. From PDP to APC, APC to, even in between, they took the capital of the country from Lagos down to Abuja. So a whole lot of things left on. Now you see, Lagos is cosmopolitan.
Yeah.
Lagos has not less than between 15 and 20 million people. You can't compare Lagos to, in fact, some local government in Lagos is like a country. The whole of Alimosho can be the population of maybe Benin Republic or Gambia. Go and check it. So Lagos itself should be treated like a country on its own. So now coming down, a place where you have 15 million people and a very small land mass.
Okay.
Because water is almost maybe a quarter of Lagos. Yeah. You have to look at how to, even in the diverse nature of those people, you have to talk about health, education, food, clothing, shelter, security, environment. Lagos is only lucky that it's able to generate some internal revenues that is helping the state to do some. You see, you can't compare Lagos to other states in the country. Maybe the only state catching up now is the Federal Capital Territory, because the current minister is doing quite some things in there.
And that boils down to governance.
From what we've heard.
That boils down to governance.
You see, if you look at Lagos on its own, and with the number of people that lives in Lagos, and their diverse nature, and the type of economy Lagos runs, Lagos can only get better. It is not where we expect it to be. Okay. But you see, in Lagos, security-wise, I think we have done well.
No, they have passed the 70%.
Yes. In security, where you can see the way the state government funds police here and there. Environment is part of security. If you look at almost all areas, during the Ambode years, light everywhere. Yeah. I don't know what suddenly happened to those lights. Yes. Neighborhood security course, LASMA. You see, I know very well that a lot still needs to be done in Lagos. Okay. Just like the copper lady was saying the other time, Lagos is smelling, Lagos is dirty. A lot needs to be done. There's no need to shy away from the fact. Rain, about 2-3 weeks ago, you can see how it affected the whole, to Lekki to. So a lot needs to be done, I know. But within yourself, tell yourself the truth. If I collect, if there are some states in this country, all the Delta, the rivers that collect much more allocation than Lagos, much more, they even collect 30% derivation. They don't have the type of population Lagos has, but enter there and see. Yesterday, I saw the smart city, the smart schools, Abia state government said they were doing. I looked at it. What is smart about this? 54 billion. To be sincere to you, all states, governments and governors, they need a rethink. And they need to know that things can't continue like this. I'm not saying Lagos, we have messiahs here or they have done extraordinary. People will still say, with the type of income Lagos has, it should have done better. Yeah, it should have gone far higher than this. I agree.
Yeah, because the internally generated revenue stands at 1.5 trillion every year.
I agree. I agree absolutely. But you see, if we have other states too, who can at least try as much as possible to emulate one or two things. We have local governments in the north signing agreements with bandits. Don't come and attack us. Instead of creating a security network or try to help the police fund and do a whole lot of things. Governors collect security votes and everybody goes. So as far as I'm concerned, trying to look at Lagos, because you see, it's easy when you are outside, just like Vivo is outside. To say that, guys, you are not doing this, guys, you are not doing
so you mean if he gets there, he won't
when you get there too,
yes,
you will now find out that there are quite a whole lot involved in governance. I've not been there, I can't say, but I always find it very, very, very difficult to believe when this man will tell us 1,001 things, and only to get there, whether as ministers, whether as governors, whether as everywhere, people are complaining. A reverend father in Benue State, you have not done anything, you just come here and tell us same story all the time. That's a reverend father. Are we saying that he's stealing the money too, or he just wants to steal the money? So as far as I'm concerned, I feel that our laws, the way we program them, it is what has given these guys the leeway to do all they are doing. So when I see one politician attacking the other, I begin to wonder that when you get there too, are you going to be any different from this person you are criticizing? Lagos has its own nature, has its own problems. The density is too high. So managing Lagos, managing a local government like even Alimosho alone, or if you are a chairman of a local government in all those Lekki areas that gets flooded all the time, of course it's massive headache for you, because you'll be spending so much money trying to evacuate the drainage. You have 1,001 people that have even built on the waterways already. You want to demolish, they are shouting on you. You have boys smoking hemp in some areas. You have 1,001 people coming from everywhere to want to use the health center. You need to provide teachers for schools, a whole lot, I can tell you. So it's not easy too on this side. So when you see politicians try to come and drop messages, you are not doing so, I just sit down and laugh. When you get there too, let's see what you can do.
Well, let's just see what we can do. And Rhodes Viva, I remember when he was vying for the governorship stuff, he said he was going to do this thing Elon Musk does in the United States. They call it boring. You bore through the ground. You create a road because Atlanta is so, traffic everywhere. So the boring company. So he created maybe a new network of roads where you can bore on the net of the ground and connect it to cities. And Viva said, as an architect, he said he would employ that. in Lagos, I was asking, how is it even possible?
It's the politician. They'll tell you anything. They can build skyscrapers in the sky.
Oh, good.
$1 to $1. How is it possible? So when people tell you all those things, you tell yourself the truth. Yes. Is it possible within yourself? Do you think anybody telling you $1 to $1 is possible? No, now. Somebody telling you, fuel, once I get there, I'll just bring it. I can bet you, my brother, if any president comes in today, after Bola Tinubu, he will never reverse this fuel subsidy.
No, the damage has been done.
It will never already. It will never. This FX policy, if another president gets, they will never remove it. They will just leave the status quo and be running with it. All they needed was somebody to come and do it before, and the person has done. So as far as I'm concerned, politicians will tell you 1,001 things, but let them get to power. That thing that they told you that I will not do, or that I will do, you will say a different thing.
Well, let's just see how that goes. Those are the words of the politicians. But for the man on the streets of Lagos, ask him to mention leaders that have done well in Lagos. The number one list that comes, or name that comes, is Baba Jokonde. The next is Fashola. The next is Ambode. Nobody talks about Tinubu and Sanwo-Olu in the mix, to be honest.
Sanwo-Olu is still there.
Yes, but it's close to 1.5 years remaining.
Yes.
And there's nothing really to show.
No. Nobody can say there's nothing to show for Sanwo-Olu.
Apart from the mainland road, the maybe a link road that he's building now, which is epic.
No.
I don't see any other thing.
Lagos has the train between Mile 2 and Marina. Was it not Sanwo-Olu that finished it?
That finished it.
Ambode
started it.
No, Fashola started it. Ambode abandoned it now.
All right.
So to be sincere to you, the environment when Ambode was there, that was his first problem. Lagos was dirty. He brought in a company to come and do waste. Those ones didn't have capacity.
It wasn't the situation.
They don't even have capacity to do just Lagos Island market there, not to talk of the entire Lagos. So, but you see, you can't begin to be critical. Politicians, especially opposition parties, when they want to take over, they try to discredit this one has done this one has done that. But as somebody who is quite objective, you know that Lagos is even still lucky. There is a continuum in government. So people come in, you already see a whole lot of things you can do in 10 years already in front of you. It's just for you to pick which one is best or not. But you hear there's a godfather somewhere who determines which one you will do now, which one you will not do. And of course, all those ones, everywhere in the world you see politics there. Everywhere. Donald Trump today is like a big brother to he will even leave America and go to Russia, go to Ukraine to be doing if you don't stop your fight. I will do tariff. If you don't do, you begin to wonder, Oga, is this your shop? Why not sitting here? Why are you going around everywhere? So you see, politicians are like that. Trump is an example of a Nigerian politician. Just I have this power and I will use it. In
fact, someone would even think that maybe he came to Nigeria to learn from our politicians, because there's no difference between his mannerism and those of our politicians. But let's take a look at another matter on the Saturday weekend in the next 60 seconds, if we may. Straight to the story. Reviving textile without a curtain. why efforts fail. Mr. Peters, the land that we used to cultivate cotton back in the days in the 60s and 70s have not gone away. They are still there, right? So why is it difficult for us to still grow cotton and revive our textile mills?
Okay, yeah, it's not as if it's difficult for us to grow cotton, but you know, it's a systematic problem. Number one, the major issue is where are those farmers who grew cotton back then?
Is it do we still to reinvent them again?
No,
You can retrain people
just
to
hold on.
Okay.
By now, those farmers will be in their 70s, 80s if they are still alive. Did they hand over anything to their children? Or they also sent their children to school for white-collar jobs? Okay, aside that, two, what is the government initiative on cotton? Does the government have any policy the way they have on oil, the way they have on cocoa, the way they have on whatever gives them money? Do they have a policy targeted towards cotton? Like if I get to the bank today or CBN, will I be able to say, I am a cotton farmer?
Yes.
You know, sometimes ago we did for rice. CBN opened the line. All of you rice farmers, so yeah, come and be collect all the money. That's even for fertilizer. Come and be collecting all the money. Those are the farmers Emefiele said bought him ticket for his presidential whatever. What is the government policy on cotton? Can I graduate from school and say, what I want to do is cotton farming, and I will go to a bank and I have our family land that I want to use? No. Number three, insecurity. If I start the cotton farming today, what will happen tomorrow? We've had companies, what's the name of this company that did rice farming in Nasarawa State? Then flood came, destroyed almost $200 million worth of farm. Where do you put that loss? That's natural disaster, not to talk of insecurity. So quite a whole lot is wrong with the system. And the companies that are textile industry, all the way from Oshodi to Aswani, going to Apapa, used to be textile.
Exactly.
Go to the hub. Yeah, go to the north too. Kano, Katsina, all of them, a whole lot of textile going on around there. What suddenly happened? Structural adjustment program also was part of it. You find out that when we opened our borders to
import
nationalization, we started importing cheap ones from China, cheap ones from India, cheap ones from Indonesia and co like that. Then the people here, whatever they produce, they can't match, they can't sell because they run so much overhead cost on power, salaries, cost of operation was killing. But from China, it's easy to get very cheap ones, and people start abandoning our own. Bit by bit, you now see almost all of them now. All those factories have become churches, event centers. That is what we have turned them into. If the country really wants to face back that type of life that we had back then there needs to be a deliberate policy.
But is it even necessary?
A deliberate policy. Of course, yes, it is necessary. I don't see why in this, our Nigeria, as a corporate person, I don't see why they can't say, okay, we have Nigerian textile mills. This Nigerian textile mills does this type of Ankara or this type of... All companies on Mondays, your staff must wear this type of Ankara. So that
promotes
that company.
The buying power,
the demand and the supply, they keep moving. So you need direct, deliberate policy. Same way we want our crude oil give to Dangote in Naira. Let him refine and sell to us so that the price can come down. We can do that with textiles too. We can do that with any product. But the main problem is that we've turned ourselves into, and maybe international diplomacy too is there. They like to keep Africa as a source of raw material. Don't finish the product. Just do raw material. Produce the cotton, produce the cocoa, we'll go and do the chocolate and bring back to you. We'll go and sew the clothes and bring back to you. So you will now pay times 2, times 3, times 4 of whatever. That is why you see some francophone countries fighting, taking over governments that come. We have slaved enough for you guys. let us be able to. Africa within ourselves, we have the population, we have the technology, we have everything we need to be able to run successfully.
But Mr. Peters, with globalization, World Trade Organization are championing the cause for a country not necessarily doing everything. If you know a country that does it better, why not take advantage of them? That's the issue Donald Trump has. He wants to do everything himself.
That is
franchising other people to do it and taking advantage.
Is starting something they call ACTA.
Okay.
I don't know if you've read it. Whereby you find out that maybe South Africa has cocoa. The neighbor, Malawi or Zimbabwe, they need cocoa, but because they are fighting with South Africa, they put tariff within themselves. Whereas one man will come from US, UK, Norway, and come and carry the whole cocoa. So Zimbabwe will now need to go and export or import from Norway what it can get from South Africa. But just because there is trade imbalance, we don't even understand ourselves. Yeah. So some people are trying to make sure that, come Africa, don't, same way I see Nigeria. If we solve all this insecurity and a whole lot of issues, we are better as a country than, say we want to divide. I don't see any reason why I can't get coal from Enugu that I need a visa to go to Enugu. I don't see any reason why I need serious cutting. I need to get a visa to go to Maiduguri to get it. We are beautiful. God has blessed Nigeria. He has blessed Africa. But the problem is for us to sit down and fashion the best way. But because I want to be the leader, I want to have all the money, I want others to be subject to me, I just want to me alone, is major reason why we are where we are. If we really did not care, just like Lee Kuan Yew in Singapore, you need one leader, just like the Gandhi in India, who will come. Go and look at who built America now. You will see, they will mention names. Yeah. People who have mattered, who have staked their life, who are not interested in wealth. You might have money. Where is the money for the Azikiwes today if they stole everything? Where is the money for the Awolowos? Where is the money for the Sardauna? Yes. No, now, those guys came to make sure that, come, even if I have money, my people that I represent must have a good life. But
Very
you
true.
see, the type of politicians we have now, it's about who has the best house, who goes to the best hotel, who has the best type of life. So it is what it is now, until we are able to come back home and tell ourselves the truth in life. We'll remain where we are.
And telling ourselves the truth. Because I am very interested in some of these things we are talking about. On our last take for today, I don't know if you saw that particular news. The Bauchi State Governor brings in a Chinese man to head the economy.
That is Bauchi State Governor.
Yes. so do you think that's a good move?
It is one of the abuse of power.
Really?
Yes.
Having the best mind to come, irrespective of where the person is coming from.
Are you saying that the whole of Bauchi State, they don't have a sound mind that can be the man's chief economic advisor?
Does it really matter? The results is the most important thing.
It does. It does. This same man will query a southern president for putting a Yoruba man everywhere, or putting an Igbo man everywhere, or putting a Fulani man everywhere, or putting an Hausa man everywhere. You have left even the shores of the country. You went to China to go and pick. It's an insult to his people, as far as I'm concerned.
Wow.
If you want that man as a consultant, not a problem. Give him a job of a consultant in your office. There are so many state governors that work with foreigners. In fact, foreigners will come and tell you, we have advice, we have policy, we have everything for you. You don't need to even pay them. They will come and stay with you because they also want to sell their products down to you. But it's a slap on your people. That the whole Bauchi, even if you have 2 or 3 million people, there is nobody
who has sound mind.
Who has sound mind that can sit down and say, I'm the chief economic advisor of this place. It's madness.
Wow.
It's madness. It's
well, the Bauchi State Governor might have his own different sides of the story.
In your father's house now. You people cannot arrange your affairs in your father's house. You now went to another person's father's house and come and say, Uncle, come and be chairman of our meeting in your father's land.
Well, let's see how that goes, Joe. Very interesting story that I felt that we needed to, brush and take a look at that. Mr. Peters would still be here to take us on our main conversation when we return. IGP rolls out security measures, imposes movement restrictions in 13 states. It's in a bit. It's still Enterprise Weekend. Please don't go anywhere. Are we on? But most people are... Thank you so very much for joining us. This is still Enterprise Weekend, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Our main conversation for today and ahead of the by-elections on Saturday, August 16, 2025 in 13 states. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetokun, has ordered the deployment of senior officers and tactical units to ensure a safe and credible voting process. Movement within affected local government areas will be restricted from 12 a.m. to 6 p.m. on election day. Exception applied to INEC officials, accredited journalists, observers, emergency medical team, and the firefighters. The IGP also banned the VIPs from moving within security aids, that is, or escorts to polling units or coalition centers. The state-owned and private security outfits are barred from election security duties. Egbetokun assured the public of adequate logistics and urged deployed personnel to follow standard procedures. As they have with me, Mr. Kayode Peters, thank you so very much for hanging on.
You're welcome.
Beautiful. So let's talk about elections. Most importantly, when we talk about comprehensive electoral system, which I think we need in Nigeria, security is one of those on that list. And the reason is because over the years we've seen situations where security personnel are complicit. We have viral videos, it's on the open domain, where security personnel go and hijack boxes and take them away. And it's so bad. With what you see today, do you think we are really going anywhere already?
Yeah, for elections in Nigeria, I think if we look at the 2023 presidential election and the elections that have followed, you'll see a departure, a very huge departure from the past, in the sense that there were some years back where carrying of ballot boxes, running here and there, when we had no electronic means of counting votes, or when our process was not this very detailed. Because the Electoral Act 2022 did a whole lot of good jobs to make sure that what we have today is tidy. As a voter, before you can approach a polling unit, your name must be there, you must have a PVC, and as political parties, you must have agents to monitor securities there. So they tell you that once you do electronic registration on BVAS, you see the results as you guys vote here and there. So agents can begin to say, okay, at my polling unit, 10 people voted, BVAS is showing 10. So that was the problem with the candidate of the Labour Party in the last election when the Supreme Court judge was saying that, Oga, you are saying you won this election. Show me your own results now. At least I have a result from INEC. Show me something different to show that you have won. But, you know, lack of party agents, especially in the northern areas, hampered him from showing that, okay, this is what I got, this is what I got, this is what I got. Some other parties, PDP, APC, had something to show that I see my own now, this is what. So it is all those processes. The Electoral Act 2022 had made sure that, okay, streamline them. In 2023, aside, the only thing you can see is threat of violence. If you are Yoruba, don't come here. If you are Igbo, don't come here. If you are Hausa, don't come here. Threats to people so that they will not vote. Carrying a ballot box does not work. Yeah, it was not popular because it is useless. If you like carry all the ballot box, already we have the results on the screen. I only hope that one day we'll be able to do like America, where on my phone, I don't need to go anywhere. Nobody needs to threaten me. I just vote. Say yes, this is it. I don't need to come to it. It's only if I like, I come to that police unit. Over there, people post.
Yeah, they do mail voting.
So those ones are the ones that even count early.
Yes.
You see that
a week before.
Yeah, you have seen that people have started moving, whether from prisons, from anywhere. They are voting. Yeah. So Nigeria needs to step up to that level. But for this particular today's election, they are just by-elections. They are not something major. They are in 16 senatorial and federal constituencies in about 12 states. And they are as a result of death of former political office holders, resignation of political office holders, and court-ordered by-elections. That is why you have those ones. For example, now Monday Okwebolo, who is now the governor of Edo State, somebody needs to go back to the Senate because his constituency is suffering lack of representation. You have some senators like Senator Kotangora, so many people now that have died.
Yeah, Ifeanyi
Uba, they need to be replaced. So those are the elections INEC is doing today, and they will do all those things in 12 states. The Nigerian police, the IG, I read his report, he said he had commandeered quite a number of resources, AIGs, Commissioner of Police, to all those 12 states to make sure they monitor them. NSCDC has released over 2,000 staff to also monitor the elections. They have advised that once you know you are not supposed to be here, normally the curfew is there. INEC has said between 12 a.m. and 6 p.m. of the next day, nobody should move around. You read it already. So police is saying we are ready. NSCDC, we are ready. But this morning too, I still read report from Ijebu, part of Ogun State, where they are doing some rerun. I think one of the honorables died there. And I still read reports, one of the political party, one of the candidates saying the political party is after me. Very early this morning, that they are seeing guns all around. They are chasing him. They are doing this. They are doing that. Of course, yes. And you know there is this war between the current governor and the senator, Gbenga Daniel, and Dapo Abiodun. And you know both of them are from
the same senatorial district.
Yeah, they are from that particular place. And they need to replace. So who has power the most? Who is... So all those little things, you still see them here and there. But because they are not big elections, we expect that police, with the type of resources they have, should be able to contain just the local government, just the constituency. If you can contain a state, why can't you? So I don't expect too much of violence or skirmishes in those 12 states for today's election.
But this should be a litmus test, really, if we are intentional about voting and electioneering in the future with what we have with the by-elections. You did mention about threat. People, some hooligans are stopping other people from coming to vote because of their ethnicity and so on and so forth. And while all of this is happening, there are security personnel that are sent there. They just sit down, watch there, and don't do anything. So don't you think that is equally complicity? Because they are there to stop that from happening, But when they don't do that, of what use then is security?
Okay, you know, when you talk about security, they work under instruction. If your job here is to make sure that nothing happens in this where people are voting, make sure you are looking at the ballot box, make sure officers are not harassed. You cannot leave this your duty and go to the gate to see one area boy that is threatening people not to vote for this party or vote for that party.
But that will reflect on the outcome.
Thank you. You see, we can structure our system. We can design it in so much that, how do I do away with this type of problem? Because you see, by the time this policeman leaves here, something can happen here. Yeah. Another thing, because this policeman is armed, something can happen outside there that will make him to shoot. Yeah. All of you here too will run away.
Very well.
That means that election,
which defeats the whole
purpose. Yes. So you see, when you read security report at times, they will tell you the reason why, especially on election days, is that we don't want, because by the time you begin to fight this one, fight that one, and there are some people there, their aim and objective is to get the gun that the policeman has. They are already bad boys in the area. Maybe they are caught. Maybe they are, all they need is to overpower one man and get his gun and begin to run away. They can hijack the whole ballot box and begin to thumbprint their party. So I feel sometimes the police, the reason why they do those things they do is to make sure that at least don't bring it close to where all these things are. Just whatever harassment you guys want to harass, let it be very far away. Though they might have some other resources that should take care of those things. But you see, even in Lagos, it is in some selected areas that you have all those, and it is most likely those pinking pins who feel that yes, they need to deliver for their candidates.
But those selected areas are the majority areas. Like Alimoshan, for example, is one of those biggest hubs. Anyone that wants to win Lagos,
I doubt if Alimoshan had that type of violence.
Really?
Where we saw those violence are where we have Ushodi, we had them MC Oluomo, we had some in Lekki where they were saying one Oba. We had in Okota too, where we had a larger population of Igbos live. We had in Festac area. Alimosho is basically people from the southwest here. They live mostly there. So we didn't have too much skirmishes in Alimosho. Alimosho was free and fair. And I can tell you, from all those ones that were doing the problem, if people actually came out to vote, the population of all those things are small. That's why I want be able to vote on my phone, on my bed. And I see the results popping here and there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. We have all of us see. But you know technology. They will tell you some people behind can
bridge you to something.
If US is claiming that Russia hacked my electoral system and that is why Trump is saying he lost in 2020. It was Russia, this, that. So maybe Nigeria is not yet ready to say, I want to go live, whereby you don't need to harass me. On my phone, I can stay and accredit myself and then and vote. So until we get to that type of level, you'll still be seeing all these little skirmishes. But if you look at Nigeria 1999 to 2023, there has been a far difference. There were some times, even Yaradua said it, the election that brought me in was not perfect, but we'll work on it to make sure it is perfect.
But if we compare to the 1993...
then they were writing results. Yes. In fact, it was this last election that I got surprised. All these KKK Carnation states that we call them, Carnation states. How much votes did Kano return? How much votes did Lagos return? How much votes did Rivers return? It made us to even know that most of all these figures they give us earlier, Kano 2 million, this one 5 million, this one, almost all those things are lies. All those results back then, maybe allegedly were written just to, this is the person we want to win here, so add this figure to it and go and manufacture it anyhow. But now it is difficult because technology is involved bit by bit. Technology is involved. How I wish that the hitch that happened at the last election did not happen, or if the Labour Party candidate had agents who had results sheets to collate and say, look at APC situation room. You see Fashola there. As the results are coming from all wards, they are keying it in to arrive at a total figure. PDP, you see, what's this man's name from Kogi State?
Which of the
popular senator now?
Saraki?
Not Saraki. Saraki is Kwara.
Okay, Kwara.
This guy from Kogi State. Melaye,
Dino.
Yeah. Dino too in the situation room. Also trying to, as a party, you must have all those structures. Once you have all those structures, aside that you give people money here and there, you need all those structures to be able to feed in your... You have a platform whereby all your agents, once their result is ready, the key immediately enters the central server, you begin to upload. You know where you are. As you're uploading your own, you are seeing the one for other parties too. So you know what is happening. So
I understand.
Until Nigeria gets there, to that particular level, we will still continue to see all these little stories. Unfortunately,
all of these things are wishful thoughts. I just sincerely hope that we'll be intentional.
I
just hope that we're intentional. But the intentionality is not there. Because if the intentionality is there in the first place, the people who should correct all of these things are our parliamentarians.
The intentionality is not there.
Yes.
Because the politicians know that the day we allow the people to determine this thing by themselves, there will be problem for them.
And which is why it is still a wishful thought for us to arrive to.
I know that maybe in another 15, 20 years, we will not be talking about this anymore.
I sincerely hope so.
Maybe by then, politicians will know that, if you don't work. How many of these senators even know what happens in their constituencies?
Very well.
They don't. Anything happens, they just... Once they go to Abuja, most of them forget about what happens. Once they come, I saw the ones in the north sharing cutlasses as constituency project, sharing wheelbarrow. Oh no.
In a digital
Nigerians
age.
have suffered. Nigerians have suffered.
In a digital age, it's actually quite unfortunate that we're saying some of these things. Other countries have moved ahead, far ahead. Look at Ghana. You know, their electioneering process is far better than ours. Votes count. I don't know if they have true federalism there, but their votes count.
If you read from Ghanaians too, they will tell you the problem their country has.
Well, very
what's the
little,
population of Ghana? Population of Ghana is just like, let's say, Lagos plus 2 or 3
Ogun
states. Just add the two together.
Yes.
That's the entire population of Ghana. So less to worry about their election. It's easy to manage. Their own way of governance is totally different from our own. So we can't compare ourselves and Ghana. Totally different economy. Our people here are, should I say, desperate, and it's winner takes all here. The type of power we wield here. In Ghana, it's not possible. People still obey the traffic lights. They had a minister who died in plane crash. I saw the man's video talking about swearing that if in my life I ever steal government money, let me do this, let me do that, let me see. They still have politicians who still have the people at heart. So that is why I want to steal ballot box. I want to carry this one. You may not see them in those elections. You may not see. That doesn't mean they don't have their own problem with their elections. So they do have their own problems, which they will tell you. Some of them come to Nigeria to learn from INEC now. Do you know how many countries come to Nigeria to learn what INEC had done?
Despite how...
despite all this noise that you make. So they will tell you, come to Nigeria. Let's learn from INEC. We have countries from Africa here that come to Lagos to learn BRT, to learn health, to learn this thing. Google it, you will see. As bad as you paint yourself, some people are still coming to learn what you're doing. So it's just that, for me, I feel that if we have to get the electioneering system in Nigeria well, then our laws needs to change.
Yes.
We need laws. We need laws that will able to allow people to be able to do their voting without interference from people. And it's only technology that can drive it.
Very well. Only technology can drive it. And like I said before, everything starts from our parliamentarians. If they are still doing I and nay in 2025, rather than ask